Today we're at Misty Mountain Games in Madison for another game of Bushido. All right, here we are at Misty Mountain Games in Madison, Wisconsin for our first ever Bushido tournament. As you can see, we are pretty busy. We have a nice crowd. We've got, with me, we've got 11 people. But since I'm running the tournament and want to do some filming, I'm sitting out. So we've got 10 folks, 10 people from out of town, or sorry, 5 from out of town and 5 from in town. So that's a pretty good group. Everybody's playing somebody they've never played before. So hey, everybody, wave to the world. Say hello.
Hi, world.
All right, there we go. So we'll see you. I'll be filming throughout the day. So we'll take a look at some of the games as we go. Guys, how you liking the, how's the waterboard working for you?
It's great.
So I know it's crazy because you keep bumping the boards, the piers, and they go all over the place. But it's such a cool looking board.
Yeah, just straight a rat and a wraith. I feel pretty happy with myself.
Oh, look at that! I see lots of the new models standing around holding objectives.
Yep.
You got any solution for that, sir?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right. Well, I guess we'll see how it goes. Thanks for letting me interrupt your game. So how's it going, guys? Having a good time?
Good time.
Is it challenging?
Yeah.
Looks like there's lots of fighting going on. Oh, it's that dragon. I hate the dragon. So guys, how's the game going?
It's going well. Mediocre. Right now.
Oh, mediocre.
Well, you're about to kill my other dude.
I don't know. It looks pretty good to me.
Yeah.
Lots of fracas.
You haven't looked at the sidelines yet.
Oh, actually, wait.
Is that a dead guy?
Yes.
Actually, I'm gonna spend.
That's a dead Akio.
Actually, I forgot. I can spend 3 because I have it. So I'm actually gonna spend 3 to get the 1.
All right. Well, keep it up. What turn you guys on?
Top of 2.
Top of 2.
Yeah, top of 2.
While we're waiting in between rounds, I thought I would show you some details of what I'd worked on last night. We needed a bunch of 4-inch objective markers, and one of the things I did is I just got, these are cork coasters, 4-inch cork coasters that I got ordered from Walmart, and I just took it's a little wood carving tool, but you could use just about anything with an edge, and I used a sharpening stone as a straight edge, but you could actually use a real straight edge as a straight edge. And I just cut these rough brick lines out of these coasters, and then took some of my flocking and crammed it in some of the cracks. And that got me some nice, simple 4-inch area of control markers that just happen to work pretty well with my friend's board because he's got the same kind of bricks arrangements in here. So anyway, I thought I'd show you that simple DIY project that you could do for yourself if you were looking for ideas. Here's a second DIY project I finished last night. As I said, we were looking for objective markers for area control objectives, since I'm the only one that, I think one other person in the group has got 4-inch area control objective markers. So I had to make a bunch for the tournament. So these are kind of neat, actually. I'm very proud of these. These are just wooden discs that I got off eBay. And then I went to Walmart and picked up some craft sticks. And then I just laid them out. And I took the craft sticks, and some of them I broke in half or in, 2 different sections. And then some I left whole. And then I just laid them down. I usually start with one big, long, solid one somewhere in the middle. There it is, right above my thumb. Oh no, that's not it. Looks like I started with that one. And then I would just lay the pairs across, and every once in a while put a big solid one. And I had wood glue, and because the bottom is wood and because these are wood, the wood glue holds it like iron. So these are not going to fall apart. And then once I had everything laid down, I just took a stylus and I punched nail holes in. Now, of course, real boards usually had nails, all over the place, but I just put them up where the two boards met each other. And then what I did is I took a gray stain and I stained it with a gray stain. I let it dry, and then I attacked it with sandpaper and exposed a bunch of the wood. Then I took some black stain and I put a little bit on a paper towel, and I kind of irregularly rubbed the area with black stain. And then I let that dry. And then I attacked it again with a piece of sandpaper to take most of the black stain off. But it gives it this nice, irregular, kind of aged wood feel. And you can see all three there, how they look. It looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. So it was, I did 2 sets of these, plus the stone thing I showed you earlier, and some sand ones I didn't bother to show you because there's nothing to them, and painted 3 Garintos for objectives, all in one evening. So you can crank these out pretty quick, and they look really nice if you like the kind of the wood placard here, the wood platform idea. And they're cheap. I don't know what the wood discs cost me, but not much, and I think a packet of wood slats that were enough to build at least 3, or at least 2 sets of these, so that'd be 6 total, was like $3. So very cheap, very easy, and pretty nice end result. So here's the sign of a good lunchtime at the tournament. We our fee for the tournament was only $5, and we applied that to buy pizzas and pop. And then my wife baked a bunch of chocolate chip cookies for us last night. So we've been mowing down on chocolate chip cookies and pizza and caffeine, and now we're on to turn 2. So there's everybody set up for turn 2. This game we're doing the idols, so we're just keeping the scenarios very simple and straightforward. Most of the pairings worked out pretty good, so that people weren't playing the people they were playing or used to playing all the time. So that works out. That's fun. We will take a look at everybody's games in progress here in a little bit. So, I know. I was going to give you a look at the sheet here. So there's the scoring sheet for round 1. So you can see Ben was in the lead with a 9. Tom, playing the new Mimono faction, has an 8. And Jason, I forget what Jason's playing, at 7. Those are our 1, 2, and 3. And so that gave us some pretty good pairings for the next round. It's been funny. You can see that 3 of the 5 games went to 6 turns. The other 2 both stopped at 3 for some reason, even though there was time for both of them to finish and go to turn 4. So it caused some creative scoring to take place, but we get through it. And now we're on to round 2. We'll see how that all works out.
I just put the token down and then moved to it.
Christopher, you were at this table last time.
I know.
You like this table.
Table's a table.
Looks very nice. I like your markers.
Thank you.
I'm going to run the
Sharp.
showcase.
I like your painting too. Did you do the tattoos on that guy?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Thank you.
Chris is a really good painter.
Thank you. She's gonna come up here.
Oh, and some reason we're not focusing. Focus. There we are.
It's because it's the Samsung.
You're nice.
Okay.
All right, guys. Have fun.
I am all done.
So, Tyler, your opponent's not around. Tell me how you're going to beat him.
Well, I think I have the advantage on movement because he's running the turtle and earth Kami. He does have master cards though, so that's probably his most valuable for this mission. But he's going to tire my models out before I can use the scenario idol.
Well, we'll see. Looks like things are set up pretty well.
Yep.
No, we were just jumping the fences like.
Nice. All right. Good luck.
That's why you do that.
Yeah, you can't move
I know, you guys have
Try to buy another dice. Knock some You can buy it. It's only surprise that stops you. You roll a die.
Okay, may I give you a suggestion? Okay, you really want to play them until your first turn because you're overtaking it. Fuck that up, maybe you won't yeah, so just for time makes sense, right? Yeah. That's your plus. You really want to pay for that. Sharp matter. Yeah. So you've got to bring your own
So I thought I'd take this opportunity to talk a little bit about just something fun we're doing. Very minor, but kind of fun. As you can see, we've got one more table set up than we actually have pairs. And so what we do is, starting at the top as I'm announcing the pairs, I let them pick their own tables. So the first round, it was picked by, committee. In other words, the two combatants would pick the table together. Now in the second round, I had the challenger, that is the person on the bottom of the pairing, pick the table, and then the defender, who would be the higher ranked person, pick whatever side of the table they wanted to be on. I didn't address sides in the first round. I just didn't think about it. So this way everybody gets to try out the different tables. The first choice goes to the better players, but at least even at the bottom they get a choice of two tables. So I just thought it'd add a little fun and make it a little more interesting. All right, here we are in
No, I was just seeing how much damage column 4 did.
round 2. So tell me, guys, what's the key to winning a 35-point matchup?
Don't play Greg. Good dice. No, having more figures helps. I like having numbers.
Numbers are always
Makes me
good.
comfortable. And playing figures that don't suck.
And are you playing figures that don't suck?
Oh, my figures are fine. It was Greg. He recently picked up figures that don't suck.
Oh, and that gives him an unfair advantage?
Yeah.
Okay. I can deal with that.
Yeah.
Both of my children have a tendency to pick figures that don't suck, but they're better at not sucking than the figures I have that don't suck.
Yeah. He doesn't like I have my new Archer. Well, the Archer just one-shotted Furio from across the board.
Well, see, the fun starts when you get cocky and you start shooting into combat, and you one-shot your own guys. Buzenbo, my big super archer eagle, the last time he took a shot, he took out one of his own guys.
I try not to do that.
It was fun. I must admit, it was fun.
If you're tested at the end of the turn.
So here we are at top table for round 2. This is Ben with 9 points and Tom with 8. And this is the bloodletting that is going on.
Yeah, not as much blood. Oh, I have to make a fear test again?
Yep, to see if you remove the frightened marker at end of turn.
Gotcha.
All right, and then For those of you who saw me working on my buildings, this is kind of what they look like on the table.
Dang. That's annoying.
Yep, he stays frightened, which means he cannot engage the dragon. He will automatically fail fear tests.
Here we go. What do you think, Tom? This is maybe your fourth game? Fifth game? Oh, that's right, because you just played one.
The fourth game you won 2-0, though.
Yeah, that's right. He's on top table after only 4 games. That's pretty good. What do you think, Tom? You enjoying it?
Oh, I enjoy it a lot. I still have to learn things, but life is a learning experience, so I'm good with it.
Well, it did not help that we learned we were doing a bunch of rules wrong in between when you and I first played and when we next.
Right. So my second game was relearning the game, which was kind of hilarious. But
all right, well, have fun, guys.
Thank you, sir.
All right, here we are with Tyler and Josh during the second round. Josh, Tyler was smack talking you while you were in the bathroom earlier. You got anything you want to say in return?
I'm gonna kill his monks.
All right, I like that.
And she's
This is good.
Passive monks.
This is monk on monk violence. I like this a lot.
It is. It's like the last of the rice.
All right.
All right.
We have our first game of the second round that finished. So why don't you guys tell me what happened?
So essentially it started with just my guys on this side and his guys on that side, and we fought for the center objective, I would say. I put Akio and Iju against his big guy over there. And they both did 6 damage, but then died, but then he kept healing. His healer kept healing him. And so he ended up killing those 2 before my spearman actually killed him.
Well, and he was getting armor piercing.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
He was getting armor piercing from crushing blow. He was getting brutal 2 and crushing blow and armor piercing. So that's what really killed the armor 3.
So what was your overall strategy? How did it? Who ended up pulling the objectives?
He pulled one, I pulled one.
Oh, well,
it
there
was
you
a
go.
2-to-1 game.
It's 2 to 1.
Nice. Excellent.
I had to keep him alive just to score.
Killed me.
Just to score. Or else he would have won 1-0.
Yeah, he almost killed me though, because he put 1 into attack and did 4 out of the 5 damage.
Yeah, I did 4
I was
out of
like, no.
So, Christopher, you won 2-1?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well done, guys.
Thanks.
And congratulations on finishing your game. So how many turns did you go? Did you go to full 6 or did
We
you?
went 6.
You went 6. All right. Way to go. So here we have Ben and Tom. This was technically top table. Ben with 9, Tom with 8. So why don't you guys tell me how it went?
Well, I learned that dragons are really tough. Unlike the first game, I failed every fair test, every turn.
I've been there.
So, and the one turn that I should have been able to hurt is Samurai Girl. I triple teamed her and nothing. So I made 1 tag.
4 dice martial prowess armor 3.
Yeah, I tell you the surprising thing about this little 3-man army that Ben is bringing is that you have a tendency to concentrate on the dragon as the big scary thing, but the fact is the little samurai girls are just as terrifying, if not more.
And I was handing out a lot of stun because I'm using the alternate card for Matsu, which automatically stuns when she hits with a ranged attack.
Yeah.
And she can pay 2 to leap it to another guy. So she was chain lightning and keeping his team pretty well statused. So he was never rolling a lot of dice.
Right.
I did get to use my blacksmith's cleansing flame, which I've never gotten to before because it's a fire 1 burst.
Yeah.
And otherwise I set everything on fire, so that was kind of interesting to see it. It just didn't have any effect because the dragon's tough. And
Well, yeah, I mean, nobody was that long.
right.
So the last turn was the only mistake Tom made this game. He had a fighter right here, and my dragon had just killed somebody here and was tired. And he moved over here, which is actually a good play because now I'm in his zone of control, but I can't see him.
Right.
Which prevents me from using the idol, but doesn't prevent him from using it.
And I'm out of line of sight of his chain lightninger, which has been damaging me all game long.
Right.
But the dragon was only tired, and I had Elixir of Vigor, so I bought movement, and I flew over here, and I was able to turn this idol to neutral by using Elixir of Vigor to get the extra action after everybody else was exhausted, so I was up. So I went up 2-0, and then at that point, I had this idol, and this one was controlled by me, and Tom chose to concede because I was just going to roll defense all game to score the third point.
Okay. All right, so the final score?
3-0.
3-0, all right. Well, that's it, guys. Thank you for the post game. I appreciate it. All right, here we are with Josh and Tyler at the end of their game 2. So, guys, why don't you tell me what happened?
I started out, I went straight for scenario, and I got that 3-point right away, and he was sort of struggling to slow him out, but his master Akari did a lot of his work. His dice started to fail him until he rolled triple sixes against
Your Master Akari.
Master Akari, just tore him to shreds, and then he beat up another monk and another monk, and that's when the game turned midpoint, and he was able to tie it 1-1.
Yeah.
It was extremely intense.
Yes, counterattack defense took out Yuki, which was the turning point over here, and then the rock took out 2 monks itself. One might have been a little girl that's not very strong, but
8 points of damage.
Gotta be vicious to the little dead girls.
Oh, yes.
And no shame whatsoever. I'm a child killer. That is fine.
All right, so it was 1-1.
1-1.
And how many turns did you get done?
6.
6.
Yep.
All right, excellent. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
How'd you like the table?
It is the best table. I love this table.
Good.
We counted everything as normal.
Yeah, that was the intent. Is otherwise it would be crazy.
Yes.
But it is pretty.
like
It's a
this
fun
table.
table. All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So I thought I'd show you the results after round 2. Primarily, we could see that Ben scored another major victory. But it was interesting that we got a much better kind of 2-to-1. We had a couple of 2-to-1s. We had a 0-to-0, 1-to-1. So the points have actually started separating the people out. One thing I'd like to notice is that this time we had a much higher percentage of people that got to the end of the round, or the end of the game, number of turns. On the right is the number of turns. So just about everybody got to 6, and the one pairing that didn't got to 5. So that's pretty good. And then here's our standings. The numbers that are crossed out are their relative positions compared to everybody else. So in the third round at top table, we've got Ben and Christopher at top table. And everybody else is kind of distributed pretty well down the line. So we've had, I must admit, I'm pretty happy with the way the mechanics of the tournament have worked out so far. Nobody has had to fight the same person twice. Nobody has had to... Well, some people are having to play people from their own groups at this point in the tournament, but by and large, it's been pretty easy to separate people. And since the tournament's kind of 50-50 as far as where people come from, actually it's a little less than that. It's worked out really well. So we're on to round 3. The third round is the emissary. So we've had one area of control, one objective, simple influence objective, and then a Vim mission. So it's a little bit of everything. Gone. It's your turn to talk some dirt and move some bottles. So tell me what's going on here.
I don't know. We got some stuff going on in the middle. We both have a lot of maneuverable models, so we don't know who can be the Vim on both sides.
Do you have any guesses as to who Tyler's Vim is, by
Probably
the way?
Raccoon, I'm guessing.
Probably Rocky Raccoon.
He's pretty good Vim, so I would not be surprised at all if it's a Raccoon.
How about you? What's yours?
He thinks it's him, but it's actually him.
Oh, there you go. All right, cool. See, it's much more entertaining to get details about games when one of the players is gone. All right, thank you. Good luck. So how's the game going, guys?
I shot some stuff, and now I'm trying to kill some stuff.
You are the big dogs.
I have a card for this.
Okay.
Close look at what's
3
going
offense, 1
on.
defense combo deck.
Really ugly.
Ow, 2.
Scary.
Martial Prowess. 5.
Alright, so I hit you on the 2, and then again on the 0. On the 2 is 8, so 2 damage. And then on the 0 is 9.
How's it going, guys?
I whiffed.
What turn you on?
Turn 2.
Oh, see, still lots of time left. Lots of time left. You figured out who each other's Vim is yet?
I got an idea.
Hope springs eternal. Cool. Well, we'll check back in.
3 and 1 combo.
See how things are going in a turn or so. So how's it going, guys? What turn you on?
2.
2. That
No,
seems
this
to
will
be
be
this is
or 3. Oh, you guys are doing well.
All right, so powerful attack.
Anybody made their way to the other?
I just did.
Oh, you did. And there's your Vim.
3, 4, so 6.
Scary undead.
Yeah, they finally worked.
Yeah,
They did.
He rolled like all 6s.
I one-shotted all 3 of those.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's like that's most of your army, isn't it, Alec?
That's like all of my army. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So 12 on the
rough.
Yeah.
on the 2.
I'm gonna zoom in because these are really nice looking figures.
Okay.
All right, well, good luck. Hang in there, Alec. All right, here we go. So now we have our first game ending in the third round, and this is unfortunately was at the top of turn 3. So why don't you guys tell us what happened?
I'll let you explain actually.
Well,
Go ahead, Cody. What happened?
the fog for my event card kind of prevented excessive movement on his part and set me up for some good positioning and a couple of key smites and some really sad dice on his part.
And there doesn't appear to be any prefecture on the table anymore.
No, the rat somehow managed to survive, and my VIP sprinted to the scoring zone.
Oh, that's this cool model right here.
Yeah, the Gaki.
The Gaki. I like the Gaki.
And just being able to manipulate Key and strip it off of some of his
Oh yeah.
guys to make it a little easier for me to kill him was helpful.
Cool. So while I got you, since this is the end of the third game, Cody, did you have a good time? Was it worth the drive up from Chicago?
Always.
Excellent. Good. Have you played in tournaments like at Adepticon or anything before?
Not Bushido, but other games.
Other games, but not Bushido.
Yeah, I play just about everything. Age of Sigmar, Guild Ball, Judgment.
benefits this from more
Let's see what else.
So he'll gain an extra tonight when
This model will gain an extra 40K. Oh my gosh, what else have we played? Worm Machine Hordes.
Lots of stuff.
Everything.
Cool.
I own everything.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah. So, all right. Well, was it fun?
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Always.
Cool.
And I learned how to play the game.
Oh, it's always helpful, even for us. I was teasing with Tom. I had some demo games with Tom, and then we learned we were doing a bunch of stuff wrong. So the second demo game with Tom was totally different than the first. He was just like, this is a different game.
I noticed that on some of the YouTube videos. I forget what the group was called that does like the demos and stuff.
Yeah.
But the first two games that they played, it was like very spotty, like how they were moving stuff, and then the last couple videos, it was like really detailed how they did it. So.
Right. Well, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And we will have more on the tournament as we go. Alec, you have any last words?
I hope there's a Sad Panda award.
Okay. And that is a last place award for those of you who don't know in our local gaming group. It's called the Sad Panda. Thanks to Wargamer Sean for that one. All right. We'll see you guys in a bit. So how's it going, guys?
I'm not used to getting slaughtered, and he's just slaughtered. He one hit one model and just took out another one. Yeah, and he keeps stunning. Well, keeps fatiguing me with the third, so I get 2 activation a turn.
But it could turn around. He won the initiative this turn, so his big model is now able to do stuff, which is terrifying. But yeah.
Here are the results for round 3. Our victors were Ben, Evan, Josh, Greg, and Cody. Here we have the final results of the Madtown Melee. First was Ben with a perfect 27 points. Second was a tie between Evan and Josh. However, Evan had won the head-to-head match, so he came in second. Josh came in third. Greg was fourth with 14 points. Tyler and Chris also tied at 13 points. However, Tyler won the head-to-head there. And then rounding out the rest was Cody, Tom, Jason, and Alec. And I can't remember how we separated Tom and Jason. We did it somehow, but there wasn't a head-to-head. So anyway, there we have the results of our first tournament. I hope everybody had fun. It was certainly fun and interesting to run it and to get everybody excited about it. We hope to do another in a month or two, probably every 2 to 3 months, I think is the schedule I'd like to set with these. The next tournament, according to Ben, our champion, is going to be 42 rice. So it'll be an odd number, a standard number, but not something people play all that often. So should be a lot of fun. In the meantime, there'll be battle reports and other hobby videos to tide you over between now and then. Thanks for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Give you a little feel about what it was like to be there. And we'll see you next time on Gitsapalooza.